Hey everybody, Tall Family Films here. Today we're going to be adding an outlet way up here above the cabinet. This solves a number of problems. For me, a specific problem that we'll discuss, but you could plug in lights up here if you wanted to light that area up. You could plug in speakers or any number of things. So we're going to walk you through the entire process of avoiding studs that are in the wall to picking the right outlet box that you need to install into the wall, handling the electricity portion of this. That'll be a big part, obviously, all the way to the finishing touches. Let's get started.
Here's all the tools you're going to need. Flathead screwdriver, wire cutters, a drywall saw, possibly a Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to need a level and a stud finder, or there's other alternatives for that. You'll need some wire, and you're going to need something to fish the wire through the wall. The links to all of this will be in the description of this video. The link to this gadget will also be in the description. It detects gas. If the gas is left on the stove, I'd certainly like to know. So we'll give you a demo of that at the end of this. But electronics have to be hidden in my house. It's a mandate from my wife. Here's an example of that. Alexa, why are you hiding up there?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Yeah, right. She likes to pretend that she's not hiding. But you may be wondering, why were you going to install an outlet above the cabinet if you have an outlet right here on the wall? Well, in addition to electronics having to be hidden in my house, wires also have to be hidden. For example, you see this wire? It's not going to be there at the end of the day. It's not allowed to be there as well. So I needed a way to run the wires to an outlet without them being seen. And there is a pretty easy way to do this. Interior walls on a house are hollow. So I know that I can cut into this wall and drop wires straight down to the outlet that's already here. And that'll all be behind the wall, and I'll put everything back into the wall once I'm done, and no one will even notice it's happening. So some of you may be wondering, once you get the outlet installed up there and you plug in the power cable, how are you going to get it back down from there to the detector that's going to be installed under the cabinet? Well, there is a way to do that. You can drill in right where the cabinet ends. You could drill in through the wall, but I don't have to do that in this particular instance because this cabinet was built with a void against the wall that I'll show you. Right here, I can drop the wire straight down through this opening and run it right over to the detector. So it'll work really well. So we need to find the studs in the wall, and I bought a great stud detector to do this. I had an old one that I'd used for like 20 years, and about a year ago I bought this one, and I have not regretted it. So let me show you exactly how it works. On this first example, the side angle on the camera is going to make this deceiving. It's not going to look very clear, but I'll show you in a second example a lot better. So the lights are staying on where the stud is. So I'm moving the stud finder back and forth, but the lights are remaining constant and they move, telling me exactly where the stud is. So I've inserted a fake stud that you can see. That's exactly where it would be, and I'm going to make a mark on the wall right there. Now, the way houses are built, studs are placed in most houses 16 inches apart. So I can measure and know that there's another stud that is about 16 inches to the left of this stud. There'd also be a stud in the corner. I am trying to avoid studs in this situation, not trying to drill into one. I want to make sure I don't hit one. So exactly 16 inches from this stud, I should find another stud. So let me go ahead and make a mark on the wall here, and then we'll try this with the stud finder, see if we don't find another stud. And you'll see here the stud finder works a lot better when you're looking straight on it. See how the lights are kind of staying constant as to where the stud is? So I know there's another stud there. So I need to be just to the left of this stud, or somewhere to the left of it. I just want to make sure that I avoid it when I'm cutting in here, because the outlet obviously won't go in if there's a stud there. If you don't have a stud finder, you can knock on the wall, and that is another way to do it. And then what I would do is I would tap a tiny nail in just to make sure that I'm actually correct as to where I'm hitting the stud and where I'm not. So now, how big does the hole need to be that I need to cut in the wall? Pretty important, because you cut it too big, you're going to be spending a lot longer on this project than you intended. So you want to buy one of these blue boxes that is for old construction, meaning that there is drywall already up on the wall. New construction is for bare studs, and the two boxes are very different. They look very similar, but they are very different in how they install, so make sure you get the right one. All right, so take the outlet box, put it on the wall, get a level, and make sure that the box is level on the wall. This particular outlet won't be seen, but I still don't like to install things crooked. Now, I'm drawing in between the ears on the top of the box. You do not want to draw over those ears. And then I'm just drawing, sorry for the bad camera work here, but I'm drawing down the left side of the box. Same thing on the bottom, just making a little line between the ears. And now I want to know where the edges of the box are on this side. This particular box is like a 2-gang. It'll hold wires to the right or the left, depending on how you install it. So I just needed to know where did the box end on each side so that I can complete the square. And that's all we're going to do here. Okay, now you need to have an assistant go inside and make sure that when you're turning off the breaker, it turned off the right outlet. Now we get a drywall saw, and we're gonna poke it through the wall. I mean, literally, it's sharp for a reason. Line it up, and then just simply give it a little tap with your end of your palm, and you'll be able to drive that saw right into the wall, and you can begin cutting the square. So now take the outlet cover off of the wall, pull the outlet out, and now we need to use a wire puller or a snake or a fisher, or whatever they call it. There's a link to this one in the description. And I'm going to shove it up through the outlet box, the existing outlet box. And this is probably about, I don't know, 3 meters long. So it'll go all the way up this wall. And we'll be able to pull it out the top. And this is where I thought, hey, maybe if I stand to the right side, they'll be able to see this outlet better. And clearly I was wrong. If you're wondering how I got the snake in the top of the outlet box, you see these little cutouts in here. I just took a flathead screwdriver, put it in there, and literally just pushed through, and that allows room for the snake to get in. Okay, so we're back to fishing the snake up from the bottom. Oh, there it is. It normally doesn't happen that perfect. You have to reach inside the wall a lot, but that was absolutely perfect. So now we need to actually fish the wire through. Notice how I cut each wire at a different length. That's so that I don't have one giant piece of cable with tape on it trying to get down through the outlet box all at the same time. So just a little tip that sometimes makes it a little easier when you're trying to fish that wire through. So now use a little duct tape to attach our specially cut wire to the snake, and then we're just literally going to pull it right back down through the wall. I would like to take this moment to thank ADT for leaving me this snake inside my wall when they were installing the alarm system in my house. It's come in very handy. Alright, so the outlet box up top, it has cutouts just like the one at the bottom did. Those cutouts serve a purpose. It's not, I mean, it is for running wires, but it's not just for that. It's also to hold the wire nice and snug. So when you cut it out to run a wire through, you don't want to break it all the way off. You just simply want to make an opening big enough for the wire to get through, and then the plastic will sort of naturally close back on itself and tighten up around the wire, around the insulation of the wire. So it keeps it nice and tight, which is great. So we run it through the box, and then we're going to shove the box back into the wall. Remember when I said we wanted to buy old construction boxes? Well, here's how they work. See these little ears that flop down? They're attached to the screws. So when you tighten the screw, that flap, that ear goes up, which means that it will be compressed between the screw and the back side of the drywall. So just simply by tightening the screw, you are affixing it very securely into the wall. Okay, so now the actual outlet needs to be added. So there are some holes on the back of the outlet. If you take a look here, if we can focus. All right, so it actually tells you white wires and hot wires. Hot wires are black in most houses. Those little holes, we're gonna actually strip wires and insert them right into those holes. So let me take this moment to go ahead and apologize for the absolute horrendous camera work that I do on this, but we will get a good shot of the completed work at the very end. So here we go. And freeze. Okay, so I've inserted the black wire into the hot hole, I've inserted the white wire into the white hole, and the ground wire has been attached to that green screw on the side closest to the camera at the bottom of the outlet. How absolutely cool is that? All right, so the final step, we got to mount the gas detector and hide the wires. Wires are hiding themselves automatically, which is awesome. Means that this electronic device will get to stay longer in the house. And job complete. Since we did all this work, let's test this out. We're gonna turn the burners on without flame, so the gas is just coming out right now. All right, so you can see the level rising. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the burners off. And it starts to fall. Really cool stuff. Works great. I'll sleep better at night. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and finding my videos. And if this video helped you out, you can really help me out by subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.